And now, on to our feature presentation.
If you must blink, do it now.
Did you ever hear the tragedy of Harambe the lowland gorilla?
No.
I thought not. It's not a story the lamestream media would tell you. But to know the tragedy, you must first know the ape. So sit back, relax, and let me spin you such a tale. Harambe van Coppenole was born on May 27, 1999, at Gladys Porter Zoo in Brownsville, Texas. His parents, Cornelius and Zira van Coppenole, worked as test pilots in the top-secret avionics division of the Salvation Army. With his parents away doing secret government stuff, he spent his formative years under the watchful eye of James Franco, and that dad from the 1987 autobiographical film about Bigfoot's time as a conflict resolution therapist, My Dinner with Sasquatch. It turns out Cornelius and Zira weren't actually doing top-secret government stuff. They were really international orange thieves, and they were fleeing the country to avoid being captured by John Q. Law and his merry band of crime-stopping jerks. They were tracked to the marina where they were making their getaway on their mega yacht. As the couple made their escape, Interpol snipers were called to the scene. The snipers' first task was getting rid of Cornelius. Second target, of course, was Zira herself. And last on the list, their fancy mega yacht. The orphaned gorilla monkey thing spent his formative years treating his house like a jungle gym and watching his neighbors from the upstairs window like some sort of furry-face peeping Tom. Having grown bored with being a creepy home-dwelling window watcher, Harambe decided it was time to head out on his own. But his adventure was cut short, 'cause this dude about to be starting some drama. Grandpa tells the dude to stop messing with his monkey. The dude tries to get away, but Grandpa tells him, now you can't leave. James Franco would often use his simian friend as a way to pick up girls, using his patented pickup line, "Would you like to touch my monkey?" Unfortunately, that poor girl ended up in James Franco's bedroom. "Come join me on the sex bed," he replied. Fortunately, Harambe was on scene to ensure there was no monkey business. With no safe way to be a pervert, Franco decided it was in his best interest to banish poor Harambe to the forest moon of Endor, where he was quickly surrounded by those disgustingly cute bear-like monsters called Little Big Feet. He tried to get away, but the superior technology of those tiny Sasquatches got the better of him. And due to the butterfly effect, the screaming monkey somehow makes Jeff Goldblum yawn. No, wait! Forget what I just said. He's now grown up and living in a tree. Harambe looks down in disgust as he watches those damn dirty humans spreading their cooties. It turns out Harambe doesn't like people that much, but he cares even less about dogs.
What the hell, man?
Harambe knew that he'd done messed up, and even though he apologized, James Franco knew he had to be punished. So he had no choice but to ship him off to community college. That's where they taught apes to read, speak, and have an inflated sense of their own self-worth.
Amy, good gorilla.
And also occasionally fly for Spirit Airlines. While there, Harambe met his professor, Jake the Ape Salesman. Unfortunately, Jake didn't like animals that walked both bi and quadrupedally.
Oh man, do I hate them
damn dirty apes.
And tried to sell him to the next person he saw.
Hey, would you like to buy a monkey?
Actually, I'm wrong. Instead of going to the school for gifted gorillas, he was sent to a supermax prison by mistake. He was greeted by the warden and thrown in a cage and harassed by none other than that malevolent magical menace known only as Malfoy. It took some time to adjust, but Harambe did manage to make some friends. His cellmate, Red, explains,
I must admit I didn't think much of
Harambe.
First time I laid eyes on him, looked like a stiff breeze would blow him over. That was my first impression of them.
Ape.
he would shower daily, then get a specially prepared meal, a bowl of orphan chow.
The first night's the toughest, no doubt about it. And when they put you in that cell, when those bars slam home, that's when you know it's for real.
Harambe kept to himself those first couple of weeks, spending most of his days painting.
I could see why some of the boys took him for snobby. He had a quiet way about him, a walk and a talk that just wasn't normal around here. Like a man in a park without a care or a worry in the world. Like he had on an invisible coat that would shield him from this place. Yeah, I think it would be fair to say I liked
Harambe.
from the start.
But his time there was not always a picnic. It seems he drew the attention of some of the other prison apes, as Red further explains.
I wish I could tell you that
Harambe.
I fought the good fight. I wish I could tell you that. But prison is no fairy tale world.
Then one night, he spotted the Warden and Malfoy, doing things a Warden and Malfoy should not be doing. He tried to tell James Franco about the odd goings-ons at the prison. But upon seeing Malfoy, Franco's anger over how he treated poor Harry Potter overtook him. Luckily, Malfoy's father heard about this and came to his aid. Harambe told James he will find out the truth. Later that night, while monkeying around, he managed to pick the lock on his cell. He broke out of the prison and followed Malfoy. Harambe discovered the horrifying truth about the monkey prison. You see, the warden was accepting bribes to smuggle prison apes to a top-secret government lab, so the scientists could give them eye exams. Harambe broke back into prison to free his fellow apes. Then he started a riot. Malfoy did his best to quash the rebellion. After taking out most of the apes, Malfoy taunted poor Harambe. Unfortunately, Malfoy's malevolent, murderous mockery made Monkey mega mad.
No!
The next morning, the warden arrived at his office, surprised to see the police were already on their way. It turns out, Harambe sent all the evidence he had on the secret lab's ophthalmological experiments to the press.
I like to think the last thing that went through his head was to wonder how the hell
Harambe.
got the best of him.
Deciding it was better to live on his feet blind than die on his knees with good eyesight, Harambe engaged in some guerrilla warfare. He attacked that government lab and freed the near and far-sighted apes. After busting up that lab, Harambe and his ape complices set their sights on something else that angried up their blood. Return to office initiatives! Knowing the Popo were waiting for him at the Golden Gate Bridge, Harambe called in a favor from an old friend. He cleared the path so Harambe and crew could make their way back to the forest moon of Endor. And after kissing James Franco goodbye, Harambe, for the first time in his life, was a free ape. The end. Thank God Harambe is still alive. Imagine what would have happened if his life was unexpectedly cut short. Now go away and leave me alone!
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.
If you enjoy our nonsensical ramblings, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment.